So we finally have a clear picture on why President Biden suddenly did that U-turn on the presidential election so fast that it gave his staff whiplash. And this comes from the highest levels. Let's also talk about what's going on with Special K's sudden momentum that we're seeing out there. I've got some observations for you that may cheer you up just a little bit. And we're going to be covering food shortage updates from you guys from all over, as well as what in the world is going on in Venezuela. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all around the world and across the United States. Let's get into it. We have this video brought to you by Genesis Gold Group. They help people with retirement accounts get into physical metals like gold, silver, platinum while still being in their retirement account. If you have questions about that, there'll be a link at the end of the video that you can find out more. So Venezuela, what is going on there? I know Pinball covered this already, but it's a little unclear what's going on exactly. But what we do know is that immediately after the election in Venezuela, where Maduro, who is basically Chavez's a replacement for the socialists down there, the communists, and they suddenly declared that Maduro won. Russia and China immediately came out and said, "Good job, congratulations." The United States and other countries said, "Hold on, not so fast." And some South American countries coming out outright and saying, that's not how the election actually went. This is not a legitimate election. So we have people in Washington, D.C., as well as other countries questioning the validity of the election, which is clearly undermining democracy. Or maybe that's only when you criticize the wrong people. Anyway, someone should ask Stacey Abrams about that, and maybe we can clear things up. Hillary Clinton might be able to clear things up, too, on that front. Anyway, what's happening right now is we're getting a lot of reports out there. There's a lot of videos and information coming out that's being debunked in real time. So it's not super clear. Is this a CIA operation to destabilize Venezuela and delegitimize Venezuela? Or was there really as much shadiness happening as is being alleged? I can't tell you. It's a toss-up right now. So lots of fake stuff going around out there. I'm going to kind of wait until some of the dust settles a little more. But apparently there are protests happening in Venezuela. A lot of people unhappy. There seemed to be a lot of energy with the opposition. But as Pinball said it, you can't vote your way out of socialism. You can vote your way into socialism, but you can't vote your way out of socialism. Remember that Venezuela is one of the most prosperous and wealthiest South American countries leading up into the late 90s. Like, we're talking like they were well-to-do, and then they voted in socialism, and it just literally destroyed them. Let's not follow their example, shall we? Special K. Okay, so we got the Queen Bee is supposedly, she's been coronated, and apparently now she's got all this momentum out there. And yet, when you look at things a little closer, you realize that doesn't look quite as deep as we're being told. There's a whole bunch of information going on Facebook and elsewhere talking about all this momentum. There's a massive ad push. You may have noticed Kamala Harris ads on this video. And if you did, well, just be glad that she's wasting her money on us, right? Okay, we'll do that. If you don't want to contribute financially, but you want to still make a dent, what you can do is you can type in presidential election into Google, and then look for the sponsored ads or whatever like that from like Kamala Harris or whatever, and then don't click on the Trump ones. Click on the Kamala Harris ones. Every time you click on those things, usually it's like 25 cents out of their campaign's website. So just search for something that's kind of related so those political ads will show up, and then just click on those. And I probably shouldn't be saying that because that could get me in trouble. Anyway, but you know, as you're passing through, you can do that. But okay, so what's up with this momentum? I was on Facebook and I saw like the reports of 200 golf carts showing up at a rally down in the Villages, which is Trump country. And it is, because the people actually worked and earned a living. And so most of those people, you know, aren't really big Democrat fans. What's that saying go like? If you're young and a conservative, you don't have a heart. But if you're old and a liberal, you don't have a brain. I mean, that's how the saying goes. I didn't make it up, friends. I didn't make it. I'm just repeating it. So complain to somebody else if you don't like it. Anyway, so 200 carts showed up in this rally. But if you know anything about the Villages, you know that the Villages are like massive. There's 50,000 golf carts in the community at large, and 200 of them showed up for one of the candidates. Is that as overwhelming as it sounds? Not so much anymore, is it? 200 out of 50,000. If Trump showed up, I wonder if 40,000 would show up. Anyway, not only that, I'm seeing about a bunch of this stuff on Twitter, also on Facebook, especially on Facebook, just spam comments. 95% of them are clearly bots. I mean, they're all doing like the same thing. They're all saying the same thing. They're just repeating each other. Now, with all that's going on out there, how much of this bots versus people who don't think for themselves? I mean, there is always that. But it sure seems like there's a lot of astroturfing going on out there. We have a lot of confirmations. We talked about this before, how over 200 people's cell phones moved straight from Kamala's coronation campaign thing immediately to the protests down in D.C. And it's just like, that seems a little bit convenient that these people had enough time to go from where was that, Minnesota or somewhere up north. It was a long drive, and yet all these people just hopped on a bus, multiple buses, and then all these buses kind of seem to go. It's paid astroturfing, right? Grassroots movements are natural, organic people deciding that they want to do something. Astroturfing is when you pay people to show up and pretend like they're grassroots. Anyway, let's get on to what's going on with Biden. We were all kind of surprised by kind of how that went down because, I mean, as of Sunday morning, he had top staff people out there saying he's not going to quit the presidential campaign, period. And, you know, we would have kind of imagined we'd be eased into it a little more, but it was like just whiplash. His staff just seemed to be thrown under the bus. They found out on Twitter. So Seymour Hersh has laid out an article on Substack on using his sources and everything like that on what exactly went down. Apparently, when he was in Las Vegas, Nevada, Biden took a hard fall. And they were covering this up. That explains the bruising that we saw. They said it was COVID. Seymour Hersh, who is quite the famous investigative journalist. This is the guy that broke the My Lai massacre in Vietnam. He covered the Watergate scandal for Washington Post. He broke the stories on the secret U.S. bombings of Cambodia, the gas attacks in Syria, and he's the one who fingered U.S. and Norway as the culprits for the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage when everyone else was like, it is Russia. He actually brought out evidence that it was actually the U.S. and Norway that did it. So he has come out with his sources that what happened was that Biden took a hard fall, and then apparently Barack Hussein Obama picked up the phone and got Kamala Harris to give authorization to be on board with initiating a 25th Amendment removal of Biden. She gave the go-ahead on that to Obama. Obama then called Biden and said, Kamala Harris is on board, and I will get the rest of your cabinet on board for removing you as president if you do not step down from the presidential campaign. He acquiesced, and that's what happened. That's why his staff didn't know what was going on. It was a private phone call between President Obama and President Biden, and that is what happened. Allegedly. That's what, and like I said, from the highest levels, I would not question this guy's sources, but I'll leave that one with you. Let me know what you guys think down below. Is that kind of how it went down? It makes a lot more sense than some of the other stuff we're hearing out there or the official narrative, isn't it? Howls76 says, Raceland, Louisiana, had an oil spill in Bayou Lafourche. Source of leak doesn't seem to be contained since Saturday's spill is in front of our only water plant, the intake pipe. They say our water is safe to drink, but they're also spraying disbursement chemicals to make it sink. Someone flew over with their ultralight plane, and the cops went to his house and told him not to fly over and videotape it. They didn't want people to see how bad it really is. Water is only good till the tanks and ponds run dry. We have been having heavy rain all week, making the oil travel much further. Please pray for the people of Lafourche Parish. All right, so that's there's SHTFs that happen every day in different communities and in different people's lives. Having enough water stored up is critical. Michigan Daisy says, Michigan is starting to feel the effects of the egg shortage. We've been talking about that a lot here. 3 million more birds put down just in the past month in Colorado alone. My husband sent me a picture of the empty shelves and a sign saying that there will be a shortage. Even the stores are telling us that. Thanking God we got our egg layers a couple days ago. Already have 7 eggs from them. Becoming more self-sufficient is the only way forward, friends. Only way forward. Becoming self-sufficient yourself or partnering with others who are self-sufficient. Mr. Meck says, at Walmart in Tennessee, no cream, milk. I'm sorry, that's TC, Minnesota. No cream, milk, and eggs are low in stock. BNMC says, they are now going after the meat birds. AP just reported on the USDA proposing a new rule requiring all farmers to test poultry for the top 3 strains of salmonella each. Every single bird, turkey and chicken. And if the results pass certain threshold levels, the poultry won't be allowed to be processed and will be subject to recall. They want to take the meat off of our plates, whether it's birds, cows, whatever else it is. They want us eating lab-grown meat and fake meat full of chemicals. That's the goal. Why? Because they can then control the supply. They don't like farmers who have independent minds, who act independently, who don't listen to all the regulations. Farmers who may just actually give food to people that the government says you shouldn't give food to. Know what I'm saying? Northern Nancy says, food update. Went to Aldi's at 12 noon on Sunday. No bag salad or oyster crackers. Whole and regular chickens gone. Located in Milwaukee. Also not able to get hot chocolate mix for months. Observationalist Dave, if you guys have updates that you'd like to share with us, make sure you use the word update in your comment on this video or any video on this channel that gets it to the right place. Give us some sort of geographical location if possible as well. So Observationalist Dave, saline is listed as being in shortage on the FDA website as well here in the United States. So it's not just Australia, but also here in the US. Both normal as well as sterile water. How do we run out of salt water and regular water? That's an interesting one, isn't it? Now, I know it has to be processed in certain facilities and has to be up to certain standards and all that kind of stuff like that. But how do you run out of water? That seems, I mean, of all the medical devices and equipment and prescription drugs and stuff like that we could run out of, salt water, and water. Troy says, my local Walmart has those little solar-powered yard lights for only 50 cents each. This is the time of year where they put all that stuff on sale, so it's a good time to stock up on outdoor supplies for next year. You might want to get to your Walmart or other stores and look at the discount aisles right about now. Sally says, local regular grocery store, 2+ sliced olives. Yes, a small one on sale for $2.49. Much strange resettling in the produce department. Fronting where it was never before. By the way, unless garlic ID's organic, it is grown in human waste. Now, most garlic is actually grown in China. So most of the garlic that you have on store shelves is in China. Organic is mostly grown here in the U.S. So that's a difference right there. You can tell by the they cut the bottom off and then they bleach it, and you can kind of tell that because they have to bleach the whole thing when it comes into the country to sterilize it, and it's dead. You can't plant that. You have to get the organic stuff to plant in your yard if you want to grow your own garlic, which you can do with the organic stuff. Carol says the Taco Bell sauce has gone from 99 cents a bottle. I know. It's a painful one for me because I actually get Taco Bell sauce. It's good on burritos. It's just fantastic. There's just no good substitute. I've tried everything. But it used to be 99 cents. Then it was $1.99. Now it's $2.59. So there's your 3% inflation, friends. Glad we stocked up 2 weeks ago when it was 10 for 10 sale. 10 for $10, right? 1S Terminus says food shortage. New Mexico. Usually I buy a lot of prosciutto ham because I am addicted to Italian cold cup submarines. I cannot locate any prosciutto at Walmart locally or online. I have checked 6 or 7 stores, grocery stores and that kind of thing, just nothing locally. This started happening weeks before the Boar's Head recall. I have begun to order from Amazon or eBay. This turns out to be much cheaper. It's amazing what you can buy online. I've started buying these like big barrels of olives, which are quite tasty. I love olives from my time overseas in Turkey and elsewhere. I just learned to love the olives like you get at like the salad bar, the fancy ones from Italy and all that kind of stuff. So you can get barrels of olives on Amazon. It's weird and crazy, but you know, hey, it's a lot cheaper than going and getting them from the grocery store fresh. Anyway, you'd be surprised what you can get online nowadays, and you can be sometimes surprised at how cheap it is, too. So, you know, hey, if it works, it works. Thanks so much for joining with us. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, there's a link right here. Fill out the form, and they will get in contact with you to answer your questions. No obligation, of course, with that. I will see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.